Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thought we already did a recording, but apparently we didn't do it good enough. So we're going to do it again because it's something to being a perfectionist, and that I am. I am a perfectionist. I like to have things right. Okay, let's just move this thing out the way here. It's gone over there. Go on, go on, go on. A little bit further over. There you go. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is December 16th in the 2022nd year of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let his kingdom come, let his will be done on earth as it is done throughout the heavens. Now, you and I are in week 15 of the NFL football season, 2022 season. And beginning this week, we now have games on 4 days of the week: Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And since today is Friday, let's start with the Thursday night game, which was played last night. Now, the San Francisco 49ers traveled to the state of Washington to take on the Seattle Seahawks, and they defeated them 21-13. Actually, this game was not even close. It was 21-3 at half, and then nobody really played that much offense after that for the 49ers. They just let the defense go after Geno Smith and beat him up and sack him, which is what happened. Okay, and in doing so, in winning the game, they clinched the NFC West title with a record of 10-4. Now, the newly installed quarterback, Brock Purdy, had over 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Both of them went to George Kittle's. Running back Christian McCaffrey had 108 yards rushing and a touchdown also. San Francisco's defense forced a fumble and sacked Geno Smith, who was the Seattle's quarterback, 3 times, but they harassed him a whole lot more than that, and he was hit hard the whole game. As far as Brock Purdy goes, this new guy that they have, who's from Arizona, San Francisco may have found their Tom Brady. 25 or 26 years after they cut Tom Brady. Well, they didn't really cut him, but he went to a tryout for the 49ers before he was drafted by the Patriots. He went to a tryout, and they said, no thanks, but no thanks, kid. Go home. We don't think you have what it takes. And the rest is history. Moving on from there. Tomorrow, the games begin at 1 o'clock. That's right, 1 o'clock. Saturday's games begin at 1 o'clock, and it will start with the 10-3 Minnesota Vikings hosting the 4-8-1 Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Vikings were body slammed by those ferocious, unrelenting Lions last week, Detroit Lions. And they were pretty much embarrassed at home. No, actually, I think it doesn't matter. They were embarrassed. And this week, because they were embarrassed, they're going to take it out of those hapless, directionless, muddled mess that Indianapolis is right now. Why are they a mess? Because, there's a number of reasons. More than likely, their owner. He fired the coach halfway in the season, I think about a month and a half ago, and picked up Jeff Saturday, a guy who's sitting in the analysis booth, which is like making me the head coach, except Jeff actually played in the NFL, but he's never coached in the NFL. Well, that being aside, he made Jeff Saturday his coach. And Jeff Saturday has won 1 game since that time. And since that time, with that 1 game, Jim Irsay is now intimating that he might look for his next coach in the college ranks, which doesn't bode well for Jeff. But anyway, it doesn't bode well for Indianapolis in this game. I'm taking Minnesota. Go Vikings. In the 4:30 game, the Baltimore Ravens will travel to Cleveland, Ohio to take on the Browns. Yes, traveling to Cleveland. Really not that far, Baltimore to Cleveland. Don't know the distance, but it's a lot easier than Boston to Miami. Let's just put it that way. Okay. The Ravens will once again be without their star quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Not a good situation for the Ravens. They're going to be going with the backup, Tyler Huntley. And for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson will be starting his 3rd game of the season. And for Deshaun Watson, it's going to be a home game. Well, home in the sense that the team that he now plays for, he will be playing in front of their fans. So it'll be a home game. But who really knows where Deshaun Watson belongs? He was a Texan 2 years ago, hasn't played in 2 years. He did play Texas 2 weeks ago, and he did manage to win, but he lost last week. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is that Deshaun Watson, I think, is still a better quarterback than Tyler Huntley. And because of that, I am taking the Browns to win this game. Yeah, I'm taking the Browns because Deshaun Watson should be rounding into form. This is his third game of the season. And sorry, Ravens fans, but if I'm wrong, Ravens fans, feel free to clap back at me in the comments section. I'm right here. I'm not going to run. I will listen to you, and we'll see what happens. Now, the 8:15 game tomorrow, Saturday, will be the marquee matchup of the day. It pits the 10-3 Buffalo Bills going against, well, they're going to be hosting the Miami Dolphins. Now, when I say that, it's very important. The fact that they're hosting Miami, that means the game is going to be in Buffalo. Now, Miami needs this game in order to keep their heads above water in the AFC East. The Jets and the Patriots are breathing down their neck. If they lose, they could be caught by either one of those teams. So they need this game. But I think, I've checked the weather. It's going to be cold in Buffalo. Well, cold being in the 20s by the time the game kicks off, which is at 8 o'clock. And it may be snowing. Now, from what I've seen, warm weather teams do not play well in the cold. And because of that, I'm taking the Bills in this one. Now, Sunday, 1 o'clock games. Let's begin with the 12-1 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Chicago to take on the 3-10 Bears. Those records right there, 12-1 versus 3-10, say everything that you need to know about this game. The Bears are looking to go into hibernation, and those Eagles are just pissed off that they have to travel. See, they're young and they got so much energy that anything can rub them the wrong way, and they're going to take it out on the team that's in front of them. And that team will be the Chicago Bears come Sunday at 1 o'clock. So the Eagles will fly. Eagles fly in this one. The 4-9 New Orleans Saints will host the 5-8 Atlanta Falcons. Now, as bad as these two teams are, 4-9, 5-8, each one of these teams have a chance to win the division with 3 games left. You really don't want to go into that, but you can go check on it. But Atlanta is lessening their chances by starting a rookie quarterback here at crunch time, Desmond Ridder. But Atlanta fans, they don't care. They live for quarterback controversy, and they don't care about the playoffs as long as Marcus Mariota is no longer starting for the Atlanta Falcons. Don't ask me why that is, but they rather lose going to the playoffs and see what the new guy's going to do, the rookie, than going to the playoffs, have a chance at the playoffs. I don't think they're going to have a chance at the playoffs. Now, when you start a rookie, this is his first game. We'll see what happens, but I am taking the Saints in this one, and also they're playing at home. That being said, now the next game, the ferocious, unrelenting, unstoppable 6-7 Detroit Lions are traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the 7-6 New York Jets. Now the Lions, they're on the roll. Roar! They're eating up everybody in sight. They've won 5 of the last 6. The Jets, on the other hand, like a plane that's been hit by enemy flak, are in a tailspin. Ooh! And they are losing ground. They're losing altitude, and they have lost 4 of the last 6. In addition, the Jets have a quarterback controversy going. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go Lions. Yes, roar, Lions, roar. The 5-8 Carolina Panthers are hosting the 5-8 Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, these two teams may have the same record, but the Panthers have a chance at a playoff spot, and the Steelers, they do not. That is why the Steelers will win. Now, the reason why I say that is because with the playoff spot looming right in front of them, I think the Panthers may be overwhelmed by the moment and thus mentally check out before even playing the game to Pittsburgh. But I'm telling you something. This guy, the coach, has been a surprise. He has taken this team farther than I thought they were going to go. Management gutted this team, expecting them to lose, and this coach refused to let them lose. So they could overcome the moment. I hope the Panthers will win, but I'm thinking the Steelers will. Okay. Thanking their lucky stars on their helmet, the Dallas Cowboys, with their win over the Texans, because they almost lost to the Texans and probably should have. The Dallas Cowboys, the 10-3 Dallas Cowboys, will travel to Jacksonville to play the 5-8 Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars, in an interesting side note, slapped up on the Tennessee Titans last week. and are feeling good about their possibilities in this game. But that shouldn't last too long. Dallas should have a comfortable lead by halftime and coast the rest of the way. Now, the aforementioned Houston Texans, who are 1-11-1, they've won one game, they've lost 11, and they tied one game, are hosting the 10-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Houston almost won last week, but almost only counts in horse races and horseshoes. And that doesn't matter this week. This week, Pat Mahomes should have a good to great game, and the Texans will surrender the Alamo without much of a fight. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games. The Arizona Cardinals will travel to Denver to play the Broncos. Now, this game could provide a lot of fodder for comedy in so many ways. Both teams have high-priced $50 million quarterbacks, but neither one of them is going to play this game, more than likely. Both teams had aspirations of grandeur, winning their division and going deep into the playoffs. Well, both of these teams are at the bottom of their divisions, and they aren't going anywhere. This is bad versus bad, and it doesn't get much worse than this. Well, I'm going to go Broncos. They're at home. That's got to count for something. The 5-8 Los Angeles Raiders will host the 7-5 New England Patriots. Now, for some unknown reason, there are many who think the Raiders will win this game. I am not one of them. The Patriots are going into Vegas, and they will probably lay a smackdown on the Raiders, and it shouldn't even be close. Just saying. Sorry, Raiders fans. You too can clap back at me if you think I'm wrong, or if I come up being wrong and the Raiders somehow win this game. Now, the 76 Tennessee Titans will travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. And it feels strange to say the Los Angeles Chargers, but I'm getting through it. The Chargers knocked off the vaunted Dolphins last week. I predicted that because the Dolphins don't travel too well. And that's also another reason why I'm picking the Bills to win their game on Saturday. Now, the Chargers who won the game are feeling pretty good about themselves. But the Chargers do not deal with prosperity very well. So to offset that, they will more than likely drop this game to the Titans. The rudderless 6-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers will host the 9-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Also a 4 o'clock game or 4:30 game on Sunday. Tampa Bay has been terribly disappointing this year. Terribly. They went from being one game away from going into the NFC final game, championship game last year, to being almost at the bottom of the heap in everything: offense, defense, kicking, passing, throwing, water bottle carrying. Well, they're going to be hosting the 9-4 Cincinnati Bengals. 6-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to host the 9-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, it looks pretty bad for them. Now, Tampa Bay needs this game, but Cincinnati wants this game. The Bucs, if we can compare them to a pirate ship, are dead in the water with Todd Bowles as their captain, and it's too late in the season for a mutiny. This game should easily be won by the Bengals. Sorry about that, Tampa Bay fans, and you too can clap back at me if you think I'm wrong or if I come up wrong. And in the Sunday night game, the last game on Sunday, the New York Football Giants will travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders. The Giants have not won in 4 games. The Commanders have not lost in 4 games. Now, each one of those games has a tie because they tied each other 2 weeks ago. But this is a division, the division rivals, so they play each other twice during the season. So this is the second game of the season. And despite memories of Kyle Rote, Frank Gifford, Sam Huff, and Rosie Greer, I'm thinking Commanders. Why? Well, the Giants just don't look like they have it. They've been playing bad. Daniel Jones has reverted back to his last season form, which he looked lost. And that's going to wrap it up. That's going to wrap it up because I will cover the Monday night game on the Monday morning review. I'm going to cover the Monday night game, so we'll talk about that then. But this takes care of the Friday NFL Week 15 review. So we got that out the way. I want you to remember something, everybody. Games all over the place. And remember, there's a World Cup final, France against Argentina this week. Do it all. Do it all, everyone. Remember, you are the most important person in sports. You, not your team. not Messi, not Mbappe, not Tom Brady, not Justin Herbert, not Russell Wilson, not Brock Purdy. You are the most important person in sports. You take care of yourself. Eat well, drink well, take care of your health, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And we here at the Major Great Sports Network, we promote and celebrate the passion, spirituality, and unity of sports. And more importantly, the unity of all of us. With that, I will say good night, good evening, have a good day, have a great weekend coming up, and I will see you on Monday to tell you, well, whether I was right or wrong. Have a good day, everybody. Clay Moss with Major Great Sports Network, signing out. Peace, love, and happiness.